When I was 8, I did a drawing, and my teacher saw the drawing, was impressed and amazed by it, and wanted to enter it in an art contest for children. And I was turned down because the jurors said that the drawing could not have been done by a child. That was a big moment of discouragement for me. I remember not really wanting to draw anymore. After being rejected from the drawing contest and being told that I didn't do a drawing that I did, I had the realization that I wanted to be a reconstructive surgeon. I wanted to help people and heal people, but underneath it all, I also wanted to shape form with my hands and create objects. And ended up going through 4 years of college with a pre-med intention, and then stopped before taking the MCATs because I was sitting in chemistry class doodling on the side of a piece of paper and realized that I liked doodling more than I liked chemistry. A light turned on in my head, and I realized that I didn't want to be a doctor, I wanted to be an artist. In our country, culturally, an artist is viewed as someone starving and borderline destitute. In other cultures, artists are actually revered. The funnest part is when it comes from an idea. I don't really know where that comes from. It happens. And then the moment that the idea gets drawn onto paper and it becomes a three-dimensional form, that's really exciting for me. The marble is actually from the same quarry that Michelangelo quarried his stone from, so Carrara, Italy. A couple that moved here recently from New York City found me through a friend, and they've commissioned me to build a piece for their house, and currently that's what I'm working on. The sculpture is called Alaya, possibly. They didn't give me any direction at all, really. They said, we don't know what we want, but we want you to nail it. And I had the opportunity to present probably 20 or 30 drawings before they finally decided on one that clicked. It'll be a 9-foot tall sculpture. The whole piece will rotate once every hour on a mechanism that will be controlled from their iPhone or iPad. Well, the reason it rotates is it's about multiplicity of perspective, that so much we get stuck viewing something one way, and all we have to do is change our perspective to see it in an entirely different way. Most of the works that I think resonate with people are works that have been inspired, where it hasn't been forced, and I finally sat down to the drawing board and I felt this piece coming through where it needed to happen and it needed to be expressed. Not entirely satisfied how I got left previously, and just trying to brighten it up and sort of contour it a little bit more and get it to a place that I'm happy with. This is The Mystery of Man, nicknamed The Big Head. It's the first piece that I cast, and I thought it'd be beneficial to me and my growth as an artist to learn the bronze casting process, where most artists will send them out to a foundry. I wanted to do it all myself, so I built and constructed the head out of masonite, cut and glued it together, which took almost 400 hours. Then I built the mold and then did the casting process, and now I'm working through the finishing phase. I'm about 700 hours in, still have a lot more time to go. The facets represent sort of the different facets of who we are as humans, and the brain I left open and constructed in the way that it did to sort of lend the mystery to who we are and how we think. The title of this piece is Occam, which comes from Occam's razor, which is a principle that says among many assumptions, the simplest one is usually the best one. It's a piece about process. I wanted to explore a way of cutting metal that was used to cut the tiles on the space shuttle. It uses water at high pressure to cut the metal. It's also about deconstructing something, an everyday object like the razor, and giving new meaning to it. The same process to cut Occam was also used to cut Reaching Inward. Reaching Inward is about relationships and introspection, going inward to discover oneself and one's relation to other people and things. The piece took 3 months, 4 months to make. It was a structural I-beam that was rusted and covered in paint, and I wanted to make it into a piece of art. The center describes how people, events, things, they come together just for a moment. It's all interrelated and connected, and that center of the piece helps articulate just that precious moment. So it's called Becoming the Now. The piece is actually still in process, not quite finished with it. There's some things that I want to do to change it, kind of bring a little bit more air into the base and liven it up. Total, it's been about 4 to 5 months. In a very real sense, the ideas and projections and visions we had throughout our life are all a real big dream. Well, suffering occurs when we make reality much more solid and stickier than it really is. It's much more fluid in nature and much more dreamlike and illusory. I really like the idea of how we actually construct our own realities, and it begins from childhood. We're taught, we're indoctrinated by schools, teachers, friends, and family into thinking that reality is much more solid than it really truly is. If you really deeply look into it and you really try to penetrate to its essence, you find that there's nothing there. You can't find any substance to your thoughts. You can't really find any consistent substance to your body. Your body is consistently changing and growing. Reality doesn't truly exist, not if you really look at it. Because if you look, you try and look at a thought. You know, like in Western, they say, like, I think, therefore I am. Buddhism would say, well, show me a thought. And you go, well, okay, if something exists, it has to have substance and color, right? Yeah. Show me a thought. You can't.